What is going on, people from the tube? Welcome back to another bunch of things. Week went by, season is over. It's a bittersweet. We truly miss heading out there and going and chasing some ducks. I apologize, I'm kind of walking around. We're packing stuff, organizing stuff. There's stuff everywhere. So, how y'all doing? How is everything going? I got decoys are clean, waders are clean, more decoys, stops. We did a lot of cleaning. The only thing that I haven't got yet to clean is my car. My car smells like the string that you hang a salami from. That's how my car smells. And if you don't know how that smells, go somewhere where they have salami and smell one of those strings and tell me how that goes. Alright, so we're here in the studio. Let me set you guys up. Alright, so as I mentioned, a week has gone by. It's a bittersweet. We miss getting up and going and chasing some birds. The schedule kind of still's there. Takes a few weeks for that to subside, but so what my intentions are for this video is to go over some of the gear that I used this year and quick glance of what I feel, how I feel about it, and we're gonna go over also Commodore's progress. We're gonna go also over of what is to come, what are we gonna be doing. So there is quite a bit of information, but this is gonna be a short video. So let's jump in with this season. It was strange. It was really strange for me. First of all, we had a lot of, the gas prices were all over the place, and that was one of the main reasons that was driving me insane. That's because I had to drive a lot, and every time that we were going to do a hunt, we're looking at least $100 on gas at that time. And you can imagine hunting 2-3 times a week. That puts a dent on you really quickly. So that was the first part of the season. The other part of the season where I was struggling the most was, as you guys know, I acquired a new shotgun for the season. So it was a Benelli Super Black Eagle 3. And even that I did a patterning test, with a full choke. That's what, at that point, that's what the choke that showed the best pattern. Now the choke wasn't working really well with mid-range and short-range birds. Like, it was just everything that was mid-range and close range. It was tough. Try to hit those birds with that. It was until I was quarter of the way in the season when I got to realize that I had to chim my shotgun. I chimmed the shotgun and voila, everything changed. Opened the pattern with a mid-range, and that's all you saw the rest of the season. As far for the amount of times that I went hunting, I didn't go hunting as much as I was planning to do. And for obvious reasons, I already stated some of the reasons why the season was kind of tough, economically wise at least. So, but we were able to do some pretty good amount of hunting, and it was beautiful hunts, and it was amazing. As far as the numbers of the birds, I logged them. I didn't keep track, and the reason why I wasn't keeping track at one point, it was just because of the issues. I was so focused on what was going on with the shotgun and the shells than anything else. So that is that. So let's go with Commodore. Commodore, his first season was last year, 2021-2022 season, and for being the first season, he wasn't bad. Now there was a lot of things that we had to work over the summer, because he was dropping birds, he was getting a lot of confusion. So this year, not dropping birds. The few birds that he dropped was because I wasn't fast enough to get him. I think that in the entire season he dropped 2 or 3 birds out of all the birds that he retrieved. And he retrieved, with the exception of like 1 or 2, Commodore retrieved pretty much every single bird that I shot this season. So that was great. As far as he's holding. As far as he's retrieving, he's getting better. Actually, towards in the last quarter of the season, he was zoning in, looking at birds, marking them down, going and picking them up. Sometimes the wind was moving a lot, so he couldn't see with the motion of the water. He couldn't see exactly where the birds were. But hey, compared to last season, That's an 360 degrees. Like, he did a full turnaround, and super excited. We're still gonna work a lot, as much as we can to get him even tighter and better. As far as that, Commodore is doing great. He did amazing this year. He proved himself. We're still having a little bit of an issue with him. He will bolt and rush the bird. He will come back slow. We're having an issue with that. We're gonna work and see where we are next season. But as far as it is right now, I'm extremely happy with the results of Commodore improvement. It's been epic. So let's jump into this really quick. If you guys have seen all my videos, my first season, what I acquired was green headgear decoys. And don't get me wrong, they're phenomenal decoys. They lost and their color faded literally in that first season. You can see the decay on the colors. They're not as bright and vibrant as they could be, but they were phenomenal. I'm still some in rotation. Next year I'm gonna retire those and I'm gonna bring something else new. Then on the second season, I bought some Avian X's. The Avian X's are looking pristine, nice and dandy, and we put them through the ringer as well, so they're doing phenomenal. For this season I decided to go with some Final Approach decoys. And let me tell you, so Final Approach decoys, man, these guys, this is a green teal, and I gotta tell you guys, I put this guy through the most insane amount of mud and whatever you can imagine, and this dog held pretty well. This decoy held pretty well, really well built. The paint didn't fade at all, and this guy's already been washed. Like, I went through water and soap and stuff, and even with that, they're looking phenomenal. Great decoy. Let me show you the widgeon. So I got some widgeons, I got some green teal this year, and some pintails. Great coloring. Everything looks just like they came right out of the package. And once again, these decoys have been through the entire season in the car, being deployed, being pushed back, getting all nasty, and they got washed, and there they are. Beautiful decoys. So for my next season, I'm gonna acquire some more decoys, and 100% down on going with Final Approach. For the water motion, I'm gonna be doing a separate video about that one. There's a little bit more details in there, so I didn't wanna this is a little bit more of a fast, quick review. For that one is also coming. We're gonna do a full in-detail review on the motion decoys that I use this year. Since we are on the Final Approach, we're gonna talk about the Final Approach blind bag, floating blind bag. It does float. Yes, if you guys had a question on if this bad boy floats, it does float. The hunt that I did with Andy, at the beginning I didn't have a place to put my stuff, so this guy was literally floating in the water and some reeds. And nothing got wet, everything was nice, plenty of space, beautiful compartments. You have quite a few pockets, super spacious. You can pack as many things as you got. You got a hard bottom, that's what makes them float. It did great. This thing did amazing. Another of the new things that I used this year, because of my waders, we're gonna go through my waders as well, was the Alps Outdoor Shell Holder. This guy did the job really well. Now, the stitching is kind of coming off, and it seems that the magic zipper is kind of like getting all weird, but for the amount of abuse that these type of things take, I wasn't expecting a lifetime durability on this, but I gotta say, for sure I got 1 or 2 more seasons out of this guy. He held really well, it did the function as it needed to be, so I'm happy. I know that Ducks Waterfall came out with their own version of this. I mean, take a look on that. Maybe next season, if this takes a turn for the worse, maybe next season I give it a run and see how that goes. But so far, this one, out of everything that I acquired this year, this one is the one that is looking the worst, but is understandable for the amount of abuse. You're putting shells in and out, day and night hunting. So yeah, but the Waterfall Blind Bag from Final Approach, this thing is just a tank. And I gotta tell you guys, like, this thing got into mud, water, vegetation, you name it. and it did really well. So super happy with that blind bag. All right, so we're gonna go over now one of the pieces of gear that was my first time trying and I fell in love with, and that will be my high and dry waders. First time using breathable waders, and these things are amazing. One, the level of comfort that you get from having something that is a little bit more open, that is breathable, it is surreal compared to going through a season with neoprene waders. Now, don't get me wrong, neoprene waders are phenomenal. If you're gonna be hunting in something that is super cold and you don't have that much of opportunity to get base layers and stuff like that, neoprene waders will do the job. Now, for me here in Southern California, kind of like it put a dent in the beginning of the season because it will start cold and then it will get hot through the day, like really hot. Being stuck inside of neoprene waders was tough. But these guys, they held really well built. I put these guys through crazy vegetations. If you haven't seen the videos, go ahead and go and watch them. Lost a couple of birds and I got into those things like branches and stuff, and no holes, no pokes, no leaks, no nothing. Super nice. The one thing that I would appreciate it a little bit more is these hangers right here, that's where I hang my shelf holder. These things were or metal, or the groove that's supposed to keep whatever you hang in there in position was a little bit deeper down. That will be even better. But other than this little thing, just these clips, if they made it metal or a little bit deeper, the groove inside deeper, so whatever you hang in them stays in position and start moving around and put the items out of balance, that would be phenomenal. Now, I cannot say the items that I was putting in there was my shell holder, so it's holding a box of shells, so I get it, you know, it's different. But other than that, this is not a determined, like, I'm super excited, super happy, really well spent money on these guys. If you're looking for some waders, take a look on these guys, because they're, as far as breathable waders goes, they're not as expensive as other brands, and they do the job just fine. These things are phenomenal. We're gonna go over my SB3, but I gotta say, man, Dive Bomb's waterproof case, this thing was a savior. This thing does the job, keeps your shotgun completely dry. There's no water. I dropped this thing a couple of times. I had to put it a couple of times on my sled and let it sit in the bucket, and no problems. It really did the job really well. I do know that they have a series of dry bags and some other type of dry bags to keep your gear dry. I'm probably going to be investing in a couple of those things next season, as things are going to be changing. That as we're progressing through the year and everything else, you guys are going to see what I'm talking about. I'm going to be hunting Texas next season, and it's going to be different. It's going to be in a different format. There's a lot of changes coming. So, but Dive Bomb waterproof shotgun cases, mean. These guys are mean, and it does the job. What they're supposed to do, which is to keep your shotgun dry, they do pretty well. So, last but not least, we are going to talk about the baby. My Benelli Super Black Eagle 3. This bad boy put me through a ringer. At the beginning of the season, as I mentioned, I was having issues, even that I potted the shotgun, I was having issues getting bird, and it was kind of tough. But once I trimmed the shotgun, and once I learned, here's the kicker with this gun. You don't shoot this gun center mass like you would with like Browning or something like that. You must float the bird. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, floating a bird, I gotta sit here. This is your bird. With another shotgun, you will mass center. You will put your bead center, logically you're gonna be leading it, but you're looking at center mass. You will put your bead in the center, maybe a little bit lower, and that's where your pattern is gonna get. With the Super Black Eagle 3, you will put your bead of your shotgun right here, right in the bottom of the bird, right in the bottom. So when you're leading down there. You're not leading up here, you're not leading in the middle, you're leading down here. Once you get used to leading in the bottom, there's no talking about. Those birds are going down. So this is super light. The cycling time is great. I only had an issue with one shell. I think that was the only issue that I had. One shell kind of like got jammed up. I cleared it and moving along. Only issue that I had with this shotgun, with the exception of learning and figuring out how to shoot with this guy and how to point with this thing and where to put my bead and whatnot. But other than that, amazing shotgun. Love it. I don't know the future, what is gonna come. Maybe I can acquire a couple more different shotguns and try them and figure them out. But as of right now, this thing, it is solid shotgun. So now that we're talking about the shot, we're gonna go over a little bit on the shells and what is coming next. Next thing that is coming, I already ordered. As you guys know, if you have used Boss shot shells, they are an online company, so you will not find those in retailers or anything like that. So I already ordered a box of the 3-5 stack. So 3-inch shell or 3-inch payload, to make it more exact to what they are advertising, is a shell that will hold a 3-inch payload stacked with number 3s and number 5. Normally I shoot number 3s and number 2s. That's what I normally shoot. I heard that you can size down on when you're using Buzz, and so I decided to do, instead of doing just a number 3, hey, I'm gonna go with the 3 stack 5 and see what it does. I'm gonna be trying those. I'm gonna try the Kent's Bismuth. I'm gonna try again the heavy metals and the Kents, and we're gonna pattern this again. So that's the next video you're gonna be seeing, is me patterning this shotgun again. So we're gonna be doing that with the new shells, and based on the results of that, those are gonna be the shells that I'm gonna be using next season. And the reason being is, if you guys, as I mentioned before, if you've seen the videos, you know what I'm talking about. I had an insane amount of cripples this year, and some of them were birds that I was taking shots, not sky busting, but a little far shots. But a lot of them weren't that far. A lot of them weren't within range, and the birds were still being crippled. And that's something that in season after season I have noticed, and I was putting the blame on to me, and me learning and be like, oh, that shot might have been far, that shot might have been whatever. This time around, I got more knowledge, and I can gauge my distances better, and I still, with close shots, I have some birds that were super close, they got crippled. So can't have that, so I'm going to be selecting a different shell for next season. Now, in Texas, I'm going to be dealing with a split season. You got early teal and then big ducks, so that's why I'm going with the stack. The stack is going to give me number 5 and number 3s. It's going to give me number 5 a little bit more pellets in the pattern. Number 3 is a little bit more of size for bigger birds. That's my thinking process. So let's see. I might try to put them in the pattern, and that thing will not shoot well with this shotgun. So I also ordered a new shot tube. I'm going to do the pattern with my Carlson Cremator Porter, and I ordered a different brand shot tube, and it's also ported, and we're going to compare. So I'm going to be firing pretty much 2 shells per each of those rounds that I'm going to be trying, and we're going to take it from there. Put a poll on the internet of what do you do when duck hunting season is over. Some of you get straight to turkey season, some of you goes fishing, some of you start prepping for next season, some of you do it all. And I haven't gone turkey hunting. I don't think that that's something that I'm going to do right now. That will be something that I might try in Texas. So for me, it's going to be moving, prepping for next season, and doing some fishing. We're gonna be doing some fishing here. We're getting caught up with everything, so we can start some trips out there and see if we can put some put some tension on those lines. There's gonna be 2 giveaways coming. There's gonna be a giveaway for fishing giveaway. I talked about it before the dog hunting season began. So that is coming, and there's going to be another one that I'm doing to everybody. For everybody that have subscribed to the channel, thank you so very much for the support. I do appreciate you guys. Oh, another thing that I was forgetting. My mallard that is being mounted is almost ready. Almost ready. So we're going to have to take a trip to go and pick up the mallard. I'm super excited. So there you go, guys. That's how the season ends. That's what my thoughts are on most of the gear that I used this year. We are already clearing out the waterfall depression. We are getting everything back up, picking up the pieces, and getting ready to set everything in motion for next season. So there we go. Thank you so very much for everybody that has subscribed. It means the world to me. There is a whole bunch of us now. So thank you so very much. Don't forget that we got those 2 giveaways coming. Keep your eyes peeled on YouTube and also on Instagram. I'm going to put the information of my Instagram down here so you can go and give it a look. Thank you so very much for everybody that has subscribed. I appreciate you guys very much. And I will see you in the next one. Pancho up.